so now we're going to talk about the 5 MDC frameworks, the 5 email frameworks we use to create emails over and over and over and over again that convert prospects into buyers. So right here, this is my little dummy ActiveCampaign account. And what I'm actually showing you guys is directly out of my Sold Out Courses program. It's out of our week 7, which is, we have a whole week on the high ticket funnel and how to do webinar to high ticket offers. And so we're looking specifically at the nurture sequence. And by the way, our Sold Out Courses members get these for free that they could just import and edit, just saying. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the first one, there's 5. There's video testimonial, screenshot testimonial, value video, value pitch, and story pitch. All right, so let's click on the first one. First one is a video testimonial from a client or student. So it goes something like this. Hey, first name, student name, joined my, whatever the name of your program is, how many ever months ago, or back in December of this, or recently. It doesn't, again, you don't have to do word for word, right? He attended the same webinar you did, or he bought the same book you did, or he downloaded the same PDF you did. Whatever is your front-end offer, it's all interchangeable. But when he saw the offer for the free strategy session, he booked a call. He got on the call. We both decided it was a good fit, so he joined program name, whatever that is. Right before he joined, his life looked like this. Now, this is why it's so important when you get a video testimonial, and let me just show you here. Here, this is a little bonus for you guys since we've had trouble with the stream. So I actually, if you guys are unaware of who Michael Hague is, I hired Michael Hague, who is a Hollywood story consultant. He has clients like Julia Roberts, Will Smith, and he helps them write stories for their movies. Russell also hired him, and all that storytelling stuff you read in Russell Brunson's books, that's because he hired Michael Hague to help him. So I did the same thing, and I hired Michael Hague to craft a bunch of stuff for me. One of them was a testimonial framework. And you guys can use this. It's getclients.com/submit results. You can use this. So for instance, when somebody wants to submit a video testimonial to you, all you have to do is have them answer these 5 questions, and then you can just edit the video, edit the pauses out, whatever. But it's, what was the problem you had prior to joining Sold Out Courses, or whatever your program name is? Why did you choose to join Sold Out Courses specifically over any other program? What made the process of using Sold Out Courses so effective as a result of implementing the program? What was the outcome? And how has your life changed since achieving this outcome? If you get them to answer these questions, you will have, not only will you have amazing video testimonials, but you will have everything you need for the copy around those video testimonials. So right before he joined, his life looked like this, which is simply the answer to that. Okay, or this is the problem he had, whatever. He wanted to do this thing. He had this goal. He was nervous about investing in the program because, and a lot of times it's really, really great thing to ask your students or your customers or your clients why they were nervous about investing. That's always a great one. And if they didn't tell you, you can just omit this. But then he imagined what it would be like if he didn't achieve this thing he wanted. Meaning, imagine what it would be like if he couldn't sell his course, and day to day he went to work, came home, and saw all of his competitors selling their programs. Competitors he knew were less talented than him, but they were selling and selling and selling, and he just wasn't. He was back to that normal 9 to 5 doing the thing that he hated, right? And then you could say he would probably, and that's what this is. He would probably be back to the 9 to 5 doing what he hated, etc. Student name didn't want that to happen, so he decided to get off the fence and join. Within this many months, he achieved this thing. Then he achieved this, and today he achieved this. And again, as a result of implementing the program, what was the outcome? All right, I made $50,000 my next month. Okay. By his 5th month, he was able to achieve $50,000 in revenue. How has your life changed since achieving this outcome? Today, he has bought a new house, that original house that he wanted to buy, and he moved his family in, and now he has tons of room for his kids and the two dogs that they got, right? Now, is this a fluke? Or now is this a mistake? Or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on and on about student name story, but it's better if he tells it to you himself. Click here to hear so-and-so's story. And then we have an image here, which is going to be just a frame from your video. And this could also be a video interview. It doesn't have to just be a testimonial. Okay, want the same results client or student name got? Click here to see how they did it. And that goes to a funnel page, okay, where the next step is to say book a call or whatever. So for instance, let's say I have a student interview or a client interview like this, okay? And this is Alejandro. This is one of our students from Sold Out Courses. So Alejandro, and maybe he's on this live. Are you on this live right now, Alejandro? What he did was he bought our program Sold Out Courses, and he like lazily went through it and just implemented the webinar part and didn't implement the freaking follow-up sequence, which I thought was insane because I'm like, why wouldn't you do it? Like, I give you the damn email sequence to do the emails, but he didn't because he just wanted to get it up and running. So he does that. He makes $8,000 his first month with no email sequence, right? Which I thought was insane. So I thought it would be a great interview to interview him and talk about how, like, just that one thing that he changed got him to $8,000 a month. Imagine if he implemented the rest of the program. So this is a really, really great student interview. And you watch the student interview, and then you click here and you book your call, right? And then if it's a good fit, we get you in the Sold Out Courses program. So for instance, for this one, I could say something like, Alejandro joined my Sold Out course program recently. He attended the same webinar you did, but when he saw the offer for free strategy session, he decided to book a call. If you're receiving this email, you didn't book a call. Alejandro did. More on that in a moment, something like that. He got on the call. We both decided it was a good fit, so he joined Sold Out Courses. Right before he joined, he was, and this I know because, again, if you watch the interview, you know this. He was working in his shoe factory, and his shoe factory is completely, delegated. He doesn't work in it day to day, and he needed a second stream of income to help support the shoe factory. So he decided to create an online course about a business that he had run previously and help people with that. And so then I said, he wanted to sell that to create extra income. He was nervous about implementing the program because he was busy doing this other thing. I don't remember the exact details, but you just put that in there, right? And then, but then he imagined what his life would be like if he didn't fix this problem. He would probably be working to grow his shoe factory without any additional side income. And instead of hiring more people, he'd be working in the shoe factory himself to save money or something like that. He didn't want that to happen, so he decided to get off the fence and join. Within the first month, he achieved $8,000, and he did it without an email sequence. Then he achieved, and this is first month, so you can actually delete all this because it was his first month. There's nothing else to say, right? Would you like to hear how Alejandro made $8,000 his first month without an email sequence? Click here to hear him explain it. So you can change this up. This is a basic framework that you can change up depending. So I want you guys to understand it's not about the words, it's about what's behind the words. All right? And then you take them there, boom, they're here, and now they watch this video and they book a call. All right? And this could be done with buying a book or buying it could be anything. Like, let's say you did a funnel, right? And there was an upsell offer. And so you email people that bought the main offer but didn't buy the upsell. And you could do the same thing. You say, hey, I noticed you bought this program, but you didn't buy the upsell. Well, I'd like to introduce you to John. John bought the upsell a few months ago, and he was able to make $10,000 or lose this much weight his first month. In fact, and again, all this stuff is right before he joined. He wanted this thing. A lot of times you're not going to get this information. So, or maybe that information just isn't there. That's okay. If you just stick to the result and say, go watch this interview, that's enough, right? But if you have that information, put it in there, all right? Because people relate to stories. They relate to goals. They relate to why people are nervous. They relate to what life would have looked like without it. They relate to all that. If that information is there, put it in. If it's not, don't worry about it. Stick with the result. And then I could say, here, go watch this story. So they go and watch it, and then maybe this button says, miss the upsell, here's your last chance to get it, right? So do you see that this framework doesn't just have to be used for high ticket call bookings. It could be used for so many different things. Does everybody understand that? And then Giselle, if you want to just make sure, just let me know if people are following this in the comments. Okay, so that right there is hook. That right there is video testimonial, right? Now keep in mind, these frameworks generally are one of two ways to execute: internal and external. Internal means that the content is inside of the email. External means the content is outside of the email. So for instance, if I were to say, go watch this interview, and then they watch that interview, and then they go to buy the offer or book a call, that's what we normally call a bridge page. So that would be an external email. If it's internal, I might tell the story in the email and then say, go buy the offer or go book a call, which brings me to the next one, which is screenshot testimonial. This is the same thing, but it's internal. And this one's really simple. Hey, first name, meet student name. He or she got amazing result. And then here's just an image of their screenshot testimonial, right? And just so you guys know, I'm going to blow your minds right now. You know how we do this? Check this out. I'm a Trello junkie. So all of our courses, look, all of our courses are all mapped out in Trello. That's sold out courses. So here's our testimonial screenshot. So what we do is, so we have 30-day agency, we have sold out courses, and we have elite, which is my mastermind. Look, every time we get a screenshot testimonial, look at all these. Look at that. Every time we get a screenshot testimonial, we put it in here. And this is great for emails, okay? So for instance, let's say I want to write an email, and I want to write an email with this, okay? And I need a screenshot here to put in. I would go, my staff, every time they see a testimonial screenshot in my group or on an ad or a comment, they screenshot it, they put it in this Trello board. And then the copywriter goes in here and he just picks one, right? So, all right, I click on this. Steve, and what they do is they write a headline, and then my copywriter might make the headline better, but this is just to identify the screenshot. So this one is Steve made 170K with his very first webinar using sold out courses. So so they upload the image here. So then if I click on this button, what happens is here's the screenshot of Steve talking about how he made 170K from his first webinar using sold out courses. Now, what I do here is notice this link. See this link right here? When you upload an image to Trello, it actually uploads it to Amazon S3, which is, you know, an awesome platform for hosting data and images. So what I do is I just hit copy, and when I create my email, I just paste that link into the email service software and pull it from the Amazon S3. So like literally I'll just, instead of uploading the image to ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or whatever, I just use an image link and I grab this image link. Boom, done. And then I just go to another one. FA. He's from Turkey. I know that. So FA, 62K this month so far, all free traffic. If you haven't prepared my 25K award I applied last month, just change it to 50K. So again, I grab this and I could say, so like let's say I wanted to do this particular one, right? So I'd go over here and I would click on this And actually, let's see, this is active campaign. So actually, I think you have to upload it to active campaign. I use Infusionsoft right now for emails. So I think with active campaign, you have to. I could be wrong. I don't use active campaign as much as I use. All right. So in that case, if it forces you to use it as an upload, you can do that. You just hit save image as, and then you upload it here, and then boom, it goes right there. Okay. And so I would say, hey, first name, meet FA. He's from Turkey. Cool, right? He just made $62K last month, and it's all from free traffic using the methods in sold out courses for both webinars and organic traffic, right? He's so excited to get his 50K award. So that would go here. Now, here's a trick. Here's a trick. You see this right here? This one, this is worth $49 alone. So when we put the image here, some email service providers won't display the image. Or, some email clients like Gmail or iCloud, you actually have to click load all images to see the image. So sometimes people don't even see these images, right? So what I do is I do this. In case the screenshot above didn't load, here's what they had to say. And then I just quote them, right? So no matter what, you're going to see the testimonial, because if the image didn't load in your email provider, then at least it's here. So then I say, see, student name had this problem. He had a webinar, but it wasn't converting. But then he decided to join Sold Out Courses, and we fixed his webinar. I believe we can do this for you as well, but we need to see if it's a fit first. Jump on a call at my office, and we'll map out a strategy to get your webinar converting as well. Then if it seems like a good fit to work together, we can show you how that works too. Click here to book your call. Boom. So this one's simple. You just call out the result they got, show a testimonial screenshot, type out the screenshot to make sure they see it, tell the problem, say they joined the program, say you can do it for them as well, or your product can, or your book, or whatever, and then call to action to do the thing, and then click here to do it. That's it. It's so simple, right? You guys always try to make these elaborate emails sometimes. And yeah, sometimes those work great, elaborate storytelling, but sometimes it's as simple as this. And I've hired copywriters that they always tell me, like, I make their job easy because I literally have a freaking database here of hundreds of testimonials. So for those of you out there that have your own offers, start doing this. Start creating a Trello board with every testimonial. So every potential good thing said about your business is an email. All right. And on top of that, if you don't have that stuff, or let's say you're a copywriter, right? And you don't have that stuff, you could perhaps upsell your client on a package where you go and scrape all of their groups and ads and comments and find these things. And that's very valuable. Or you could just do that as a part of your copywriting service and charge a premium. All right. There's a little tip for you. You want to make your life as a copywriter 100 times easier. Stop relying on your brain to sell and start relying on the product, and you are simply representing the product, right? You can't just write copy that sells with no help from the actual offer, no help from the student base, the audience. Your job as a copywriter isn't to do this all by yourself. It is to leverage what is already there and articulate it in a way that makes the prospect go, this is for me, right? So, and that's why, like, for instance, in Sold Out Courses, when you don't have any of this stuff, we teach you how to sell your initial program without all of there's a process to selling it without all of these testimonials so that you can sell it and get these testimonials. All right. Boom. So that's the thing. All right. So that right there is, how's everybody doing? Everybody getting this so far? So that was video testimonial. And then the last one was screenshot testimonial. So next is value video. So value video is very similar to student testimonial in terms of structure, but it's a video from you, and it's usually overcoming an objection. So, hey, first name, do you currently struggle with problem? Well, I just shot this short video called name a video, and then you put an image of a still from the video, preferably with the play button, right? So you could just pause the video and have the play button, take a screenshot, and use that. And I think I have an example of that here, maybe. Yeah, so here's my example, right? See, I actually made that play button, but you could just pause that. And the reason you want the play button is simply because you want the play button because they think if they click, like it just makes them want to click on it more. They see the play button, they click. So then we put that there, and then we go, here's what I cover, and then you just do a bullet point of the main points you covered. Click here to watch the video right now. It's so stupid simple, all right? So for instance, let's say I do a video on how to stay focused. Hey, John, do you currently struggle with staying focused when growing your online course business? See, identifying pattern and interrupt. And I'm going to talk more about that when I get done with the emails. I'm going to teach you one trick to email copy that you probably all are not doing. So do you currently struggle with problem, right? So do you currently struggle with staying focused while growing your education business? Well, I just shot this short video called The Circle of Focus, how to consistently grow your education business through masterful focus, right? Something like that. And then here's what I cover. And then you just tell them what you cover. I cover how to decide what platforms to use, how to do this, how to make sure that you're optimizing one thing and not leaving it half optimized before moving on to the other. The one trick I use to, or the monthly audit I take on my productivity and how to audit your own business every month for productivity. Like, just put the bullet points of what you have covered and then click here to watch this video right now. And what this is objection. So for instance, let's say your objection is, I don't have enough time, right? Or you think you got to run ads on every single platform. I do this circle of focus video and I show you that you actually do have the time, but you're wasting most of it. And that's why you don't have the time. And if you do what I teach in this video, now you have the time. And so now you're that much closer. You're that much closer to buying my product. All right. So that right there is value video. Next is value pitch. Value pitch is very similar to value video, but it's all in the email. So value video is external, value pitch is internal. So it's the same thing, but it's hey, John, ever struggle with problem? Here's how to solve it. And then you put a text tutorial there. If you got value out of this email and would like more, jump on a call with my office. We'll map out a strategy to get you the result. And if it seems like we're a good fit to work together, we can show you how that works. You click here to book your call. Here's what's great. You can take all of your hook, value, offer, Facebook ad copies and pop them in here. And now the same amount of time you use for copywriting can be used for both. You can use, you might change the language at the very beginning and very end just a little bit, because, it's an email versus an ad. So if perhaps in the ad you said, like if you're scrolling through your feed right now, maybe you want to, you wouldn't say that in the email. That I figure that goes without saying, but essentially you would do the same thing in the email, click here to go do this thing, right? Click here to book a call. Whereas in the Facebook ad, you would actually put the link in here. You would highlight this and link it. So there's some minor changes, but again, it's the same thing. I could literally take that QBR one or whatever, and I could pop it in here. So literally you can take hook, value, offer, and put it in here, and it's the same thing. And so now you're getting way more out of your effort. So you make a hook, value, offer, boom. Now you have a Facebook ad and you have a follow-up email, 2 for the price of 1. Bam, okay? So you just put it here. All right, now next is story pitch. Now, if you might have guessed it, story pitch is the same thing as hook, story, offer. Again, you can use the same thing for a Facebook ad or for this. So Hey, first name, here's what, now this is important. Here's what element of story has to do with thing they're interested in. So, and I'll also teach you this trick when it comes to email copywriting. Most copywriters, or people that think they're good at copywriting, they start an email off like this. It was a cold night, and I didn't know if I was going to make it through the night. And that sounds interesting, right? I get it. That sounds interesting. Sure. Then you tell this long, elaborate story about how you were broke down in your car on the side of the road, and then somehow that relates to your business. Fine, I get it. Clap for you. Unfortunately, this is not 1970. In 1970, the average American had an attention span of 12 minutes. Today, in 2019, 2020, the average American has an attention span of 9 seconds. The same as a goldfish. I call this the goldfish rule. So what this means is you have 9 seconds or less to make them understand that whatever it is you're about to tell them is worth their time to consume. So I wouldn't say it was a cold, dark night. The car wouldn't start. I heard coyotes in the background, right? And then I do this elaborate story, and then, do you not want to feel cold and alone in your business? Book a call. I wouldn't do that. I would say, what does a hungry coyote waiting to chew my arm off have to do with building a profitable online course business? Because now you're like, wait a minute, a coyote about to chew my arm off. Whoa. And that has something to do with my course. It reminds them why they want to read that long email. Okay. It reminds them what's in it for them. Right? I don't care about being if I get an email from somebody, right? And let's say I have a problem. Let's say my problem is taxes. I'm paying too much in taxes, right? And I signed up for some email list on how to pay less in taxes. I get an email from this person, and it says, it was a long, cold night. I'm like, I don't care, dude. Like, I got my own problems, bro. Like, I don't care about your long, cold night and a coyote. Like, that sucks, but I got stuff to do. It sounds like a great story. I don't have time to click. But if it says, what does a gnawing coyote have to do with paying less in taxes? Now I'm like, wait a minute. I want to pay less in taxes. I recently signed up for something to help me pay less in taxes. This is a problem I need. Not sure what it has to do with a gnawing coyote, but that one sentence has given me enough to at least take the next 2 minutes to read this story, because it seems like there's going to be a payoff that will help me with my problem. But if you just start it, and I love it, I've had so many copywriters, Dan, I'm a great copywriter. I could do a training for your people, and I could help them with copy. I could be a guest. I'm so amazing. And I'm like, all right, let me see some copy. Every time. It was a dark, cold night. The day that Neil Armstrong put his foot on the moon. Or there I was, bleeding, alone. And I'm like, great, that's interesting. If I was sitting down wanting to read a Stephen King novel. But what does that have to do with my problem? Yeah, you're not doing any lives in my group. You're not sharing anything because you don't know what you're doing. You just think you do, okay? So, trust me, guys, you must relate at the beginning of every email what is in it for them. How is whatever they're going to spend the next few minutes reading, how does it connect to their problem? So, here is what element of story has to do with thing they're interested in. Then you tell the story, just like you do in hook. And this is essentially the same thing as a identifying pattern interrupt. You do identifying pattern interrupt. Tell the story. It's kind of like thing they're interested in. This is the same thing as connect to offer. Here's how it's similar. Okay, connect to offer. If you got value out of this email and would like to learn more, jump on a call at my office. Same thing. Just like in the ad, if you got value out of this ad, click here to watch this webinar. It's the same thing. All right? One's on a Facebook ad. These frameworks work for everything. Right? They work for everything. You can do them in a Facebook Live if you want. All right? But you must remember to remind them why they're about to listen to you for the next few minutes, read an email for the next few minutes, read an ad, watch an ad video, whatever it is. You got to remind them what's in it for them. And I'm sorry, you can be the greatest storyteller in the world, but if you're like, oh, it was a dark, cold night, oh, Neil Armstrong. I remember I had this really, really great email written by one of my copywriters, and it was all about Neil Armstrong on the moon and problems that they had before they landed, and it was really great. But the one thing it lacked was that identifying pattern interrupt. And so I said, hey, that's a great story, but what does it have to do with me? Well, if you read the whole thing, you'll see. Really? It is 2019, almost 2020. The average prospect has an attention span of 9 seconds. Do you think your prospects are going to wait and read the whole thing to see what's in it for them? No. They need to know right now. Oh, I get so passionate about this marketing stuff, man, because too many people do it wrong. Listen, tell them what's in it for them at the beginning of the email, at the beginning of the ad, at the very beginning of what you say in a freaking Facebook Live. Don't say, oh, where are you tuning in from? Is this live or replay? Hashtag live, hashtag replay. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You just don't know what you're doing if you say that stuff. You start the live and immediately you tell them what's in it for them. Immediately. And then you can say all that stupid, oh, is this hashtag replay, hashtag live, whatever. Knock yourself out. Because now you have their attention, and not only their attention, but the attention that tells them, I am now, it is okay for me now to spend the next few minutes watching this, consuming this, because it has something to do with my problem. But if I don't tell you that, oh, hashtag replay, hashtag live, where are you tuning in from? Nobody cares, okay? You're going to lose them because you're just crap, all right? So always, I don't care if it's an email, a Facebook Live, whatever it is, why are they there? What is in it for them? Say it. Oh, but Dan, then the story doesn't seem as impactful because I give it away. Yeah. You tease them on, they have to know that if they're going to invest the next 5 minutes, because people's time is valuable, if they're going to invest the next 5 minutes, it better be something that solves their problem. End of story. End of story. So that right there is the 5 MDC email format. And you'll see there may be a little bit different, but they're very, very similar to the frameworks I use in the ads, the 3 angles. Okay, at least those last 3 were.